Hello and welcome to the Daily Millwall for Tuesday, the 13th of February 2024. In today's Millwall news, even though we've got a game tomorrow, they're still talking about the previous game. So here is from londonnewsonline.co.uk, the four takeaways from the South London Press. Alex Grace's four takeaways from Millwall's loss at Coventry. Leeds keep slipping, but SA takes his opportunity. Coventry City became the latest team to inflict defeat on Millwall after they came from behind to secure all 3 points on Sunday afternoon at the CBS Arena. The Lions had taken a half-time lead. Romain Esse netted his second goal of the season on his first start since the 3-1 defeat at Norwich back in August. Things could have improved for the visitors had Michael Obafemi not been faulted by home goalkeeper Brad Collins. The Lions were made to pay for missing their chances. Japhet Tanganga fouled Haji Wright, and the Sky Blues' record signing converted from an penalty spot to equalise before scoring the winner 3 minutes later. So here are the takeaways. The Lions throw away yet more points. This is getting very repetitive. It's also becoming very costly for Millwall. They have now dropped a staggering 24 points from winning positions this season. 16 of those have come in the 16 games in which Joe Edwards has been in charge. The Millwall head coach knows how he wants his team to play, but the debate is, does he have the right players to play the system? That will not be the case at this time, with 8 of those 16 games ending in defeat. Presently, the problems are all individual mistakes. Tanganga's mistake led to the penalty, and some positional errors in the defence, along with some questionable goalkeeping from Zija Sarkic, saw Millwall go from being 1-0 up to 2-1 down in the space of 3 second-half minutes. It has been noticed a few times this season that Millwall seemed to struggle for 10 to 15 minutes after conceding a goal to regather their composure. If you think back to the Ipswich game at the end of November, the Tractor Boys found 2 goals in 7 minutes. You also saw in a recent home game against Preston that after their equaliser they took control of the contest, something that Edward is very concerned about and that he and his staff are working hard to alleviate it. No mention of the subs, so I wonder if that's going to be further down the page. I haven't read this yet. I mentioned that it all fell apart after we made the subs. That would what that would do. That would then shift the blame back onto Joe Edwards, and we can't blame anything on Joe Edwards. We have to praise him at all opportunities. SA takes his chance. Fans have been calling for SA to get a chance in the starting lineup. Oh, starting lineup, and he got that chance at Coventry. It's been a difficult period for the England under-19 international, who struggled to break his way into the side. He certainly took the chance. His performance was bright, and the 63 minutes he played was some of the best minutes of the season to date. His finish was also well executed. It's similar to his only other goal this season at Middlesbrough on the season's opening day. It's clear to see there is quality there, and more than likely he will play at the top level at some point in his career. Millwall fans will want to see a bit more of that quality in SC16 before that time. Despite not starting, he's been coming on in games, and recently has also made an impact, something that Edwards had noticed. He was full of praise for SA after the game and praised him for his work ethic. However, he also stressed the need for patience. You can understand that he's still a very young player. Fan patience being tested. What is clear since Edwards' arrival is that the team are playing much better football. Gary Rowett's reign was, of course, one that saw stability in all those solid foundations, but also never showed signs of exciting football. With Edwards, you will see exciting football at times, but also a lot of risk versus reward. At the moment, it's a lot of risk without reward regarding points on the board. Only a few would have thought the Lions would be in a position where they are battling relegation, not after the last 4 seasons, which have seen playoff pushes in all of them. Fan mood and trust in Edwards remains high, as the majority know that changing the style of play with a team will have Rowett and even some Neil Harris signings will take time, but football is a results-based business and patience will be tested if results do not turn soon. It's clear to see in the stadium and on social media there is also a positive reaction to the style of play the former Chelsea coach is trying to establish. When he arrived, he was honest with the fans, saying there will be ups and downs, and that is how it's panned out so far. 2 massive home games. Well, all of our games are massive because we're in a relegation dogfight. Millwall's home form has been atrocious this season. It's very uncharacteristic of a Lions team in recent years, but this is a huge week coming up. It's visit SE16 on Wednesday, and this is a good time to play the Tractor Boys, who are in a bit of a rut themselves. They've only taken 6 points since the turn of the year and find themselves falling out of the automatic promotion race. The form of Southampton and Leeds and has put a lot of pressure on Kieran McKenna's side, and they have struggled in recent weeks. It's a big game for both in their respective situations. Despite the poor run Mill find themselves on, they remain in a strong position compared to their relegation rivals. QPR on a 4-match unbeaten run in which they won 2, but they also are still 4 points behind the South Londoners, although they face a crunch 6-pointer at Stoke on Valentine's night. Sheffield Wednesday come to Bermondsey on Saturday looking for revenge with a 4-0 thrashing. The Lions handed out on Edwards' debut. Take 6 or 4 points from those 2 games, and things could look much better on Saturday evening. We need to get to 50 points, and we're a long way off that. We are a long way off that at the moment. What are we? We're on. Well, we're going to look at the table in a minute, but still talking about. So Gary Rowett hasn't got a job yet. I don't know if he's been applying to any or what. I know he's been doing his podcast. Yeah, he was on the Sky so far. I didn't really listen to him. I saw that he was on there with some glasses, some bins on. Yeah, so obviously they've made a story out of what he was saying about what Mill should be doing during that game. So a little bit of game management at right times will help. Former Mill boss Rowett and his old side's 2-1 loss at Coventry City. Gary Rowett is confident that Mill can avoid being dragged in a championship relegation fight, provided they add that little bit of game management. The Lions led in Sunday's championship encounter at Coventry City through Romain Esse's first half goal. Well, what he's talking about their game management is basically seeing out the game, just kicking the ball out, just basically anti-football, not playing football. And as we know, that's not what the Edwards process is. So that's not going to happen, is it? The Lions led, but Javette Tanganga's foul and had you right, and we all know that. Blah blah blah. Millwall 18th in the table, but have lost 24 points from winning positions. Yep, we know that. Rowett, who stepped down as manager in October and was replaced by head coach Joe Edwards, was on punditry duty with Sky Sports for his former club's meeting with the Sky Blues. Yeah, I think that it would be a worrying thing as this season starts to get a really important stage, said Rowett when asked about the leads that have been lost. If you look at today, it's probably a classic example. They've shown some really good signs. They started really well, and they pressed intelligently and used the ball really well. The challenge they've got at the moment is that they've struggled to do it for long enough periods and win games. And if they can just add that little bit of game management at the right times, the second goal was a classic example. I think they will have enough not to get dragged in, but at this moment in time, it was another game that was there for them, and they've come away with nothing, and that will be incredibly frustrating for everyone at the club. Asked about Coventry's penalty, Rowett said, "Oh, as a former defender, I can understand why it's given. Tanganga just steps across Atty right. But because Wright takes a touch and he's in a position he could potentially score, I think that is the challenge. And he doesn't actually kick off our right essentially, but you obstruct him from getting that shot off, and it's probably just enough to give the penalty. It's a high press from a set play with the goalkeeper for the second goal, and you've got to push one of your centre halves in on O'Hare if you're going to go man to man at the top end of the pitch. I think it's Jay Cooper who makes the decision to step in and gets done by good feet, and all of a sudden, when you highlight that now, Honeyman is recognising it's not really his job and that he's one of the centre halves who should step in and deal with O'Hare. And in the end, they just end up having to do that at the last minute, which just isolates it. So there you go. So they spun a story out of what Gary was saying in his comments during the half time and after the game. Now moving on to this, which I don't think the club realise how big this is, because there's a lot of course, there's an advert there. This is from millfc.co.uk. You can tell it's Millwall website because an advert is in the middle of the screen. I don't think the club realise how big this is. There's a lot of people talking about this, even though it's an under-18s and it's not. We're not really playing Chelsea. We're playing Chelsea's under-18s, but there are a lot of people interested in going to this game. But bizarrely, the club have made the decision. I presume this is just to start off with, to start selling tickets in block 4, 5 and 6, and that's it. They're the only ones where they're selling tickets at the moment. I assume once most of those are sold, they'll move on. The game is a week away. It's next Wednesday, so I don't know. Will they sell out blocks 4, 5, and 6? What was that, like 1,000, 2,000 people? Maybe, maybe not. So yeah, Millwall versus Chelsea, FA Youth Cup quarter-final details confirmed. We had the confirmation. We had the draw. We knew that it was either. We had the draw, and then we knew it was either going to be Crystal Palace or Chelsea. And then last Thursday, we knew that Chelsea beat Crystal Palace, and we would be playing Chelsea. Which, of course, you know how it goes with Joe Edwards in charge. Will Joe Edwards still be Millwall manager by the time we play this? Who knows? Who knows? Because we could find ourselves in a relegation by Wednesday the 21st. So yeah, at the Den, Wednesday the 21st, kick off at 7 p.m. The tie needs to be decided on the night, so it will go. I don't think it goes to extra time. I think it goes straight to penalties. I'm not too sure. The rules are the rules. You probably find them online somewhere. Tickets are £5 for adults and £1 for under 16. So, like I said, it's not Chelsea, it's Chelsea under 18. But I can see a lot of people going to this game. But weirdly, the club only started selling blocks 4, 5, and 6. So, there you go. I would recommend, if you can, to buy in advance. Just so the club know that there's going to be people coming and they open the stand. Because for the under 21 final game, that was a bit eggy. That was people sitting on the stairs because there were more people than seats, and they saw it. You could see them standing pitch side, looking like the stewards looking up at how busy it was, and none of them had the sense to maybe open the lower stand or the south stand or something just to ease the overcrowding. So that could have been a bit of a problem. Let's hope they don't fuck up and do it again in this game, because that would be kind of symptomatic of the bad management going on at Millwall at the minute. So obviously we had the game yesterday, the under 21. They drew with the worst team in the league, and it was a disappointing draw. So yeah, the Kevin Nugent reviews that draw. That's the manager. Kevin Nugent cut a figure of frustration following Millwall under 21's 2-2 draw Colchester United on Monday afternoon. Rahis Bangor Williams double helped the Lions towards a professional development league point, but they were left to rue a host of missed chances against the side bottom of the South Division. I'm frustrated, Nugent told MillFC.co.uk. The game should have been dead and buried at half time. We go in at the break only 1-0 up, but we should have scored so many goals in the second half. They nicked one and then another one. We have to fight to stay in the game, and that makes it very frustrating. It's just little mistakes that we're letting them back into it. It's not about showboating. You have to win games as well when you have that many chances. So it seems they were trying to score the fancy goals, and they weren't really coming off. Rahis Bangor Williams, he's the Millwall player there on the left. He looks absolutely knackered. Scoring 2 goals though, so fair play to him. The under-21's form has stuttered in recent weeks, with a solid win at league leaders AFC Bournemouth being offset by defeats against Charlton Athletic and Swansea City. Nugent puts that down to the nature of academy football, whilst also detailing how one of his stars, Kamal Grant, will benefit from a loan spell at Bromley. The team changes so much, the form's going to be up and down. It's the nature of the job. We got a nice connection with Bromley. Chin did really well there before he picked up his injury, and we'll be hoping it'll be a good one for Cam as well. Yeah, it has. They have been really decimated with like players going out on loan and being injured as well. At times it was more. I think they had more under 18 players in one of the squads than under 21. So it was really, they were really up against it, and for them to still be competing at the top of the table, in with a shout of still winning it, fair play to them. Fair play to them. So they go again, Bristol City on next Tuesday. Although will that game be postponed? Because you got the under 18s game on Wednesday. I suppose they could have the under 18 players on the bench on the Tuesday, and then they could start in their own game on Wednesday. And maybe they won't use them if they don't need them on the Tuesday at Bristol City away. Here's some pictures from that game. Another advert. Don't worry about the adverts. It's just how it is now. So there you go. That's Abdul Malik there. That photographer's very close, isn't he? That's another one. Double up. That's Abdul Malik there. All these players, they've all got their hair done very well now. Braids. Is this for Valentine's night? Are they going out on dates now? Is that why they got their all got their hair braided up nice? Like, seen Romain Esse's done his, Abdul Malik's done his, Kamal Grant as well. Like, is that for Valentine's, bruv? You going out with your buds? I don't know. Don't know who that is. Is that Myers? I don't know who that is. There was a player called Myers who was in the team. I never don't know who he is. Is that the new coach there behind him as well with the blurred out guy? We know the guy from Crystal Palace. Maybe he's brought Myers in. I don't know. That is Nana Boateng there, and there, Rahis Bangora, and what's his name? What's his name? Forgot his name. And there's the whole team there. Is it Hearn? Finley Cotton, Shamal Wilson, Frankie Vid, who went off at half time. Like I said, I hope he's not injured. George Walker there. What is that? Damn, bro. Superman. What a picture. It does look like a bit of a physical game. And we're back around again, so there you go. So that's from the under-21 game yesterday. Now we're talking about the Loanwatch featuring some of those under-21s. Don't worry, we're going to preview the game. If you probably skip forward probably about 6 minutes, we'll get to the preview for the game. So this is the Loanwatch from millwallfc.co.uk. Kamal Grant helps Bromley into the FA Trophy quarterfinals. A lot better than his performance the week before. He had his debut and had the misfortune of giving away an own goal. I think it affected him in a bit, and they pulled him off. But they started him in the next game, probably because it was a trophy game against a lesser team, Aveley, a lower team lower down in the site in the pyramid, and all's well that ends well. So yeah, Kamal Grant played the full 90 minutes last weekend as Bromley advanced to the FA finals with a 2-0 fifth round win over Aveley at A's Lane. Michael Cheek and Lewis Dennis found the back of the net to allow the Ravens to set up a last 8 tie with Vanarama National League side Barnet in Kent. So that's going to be a big game. Elsewhere, Dylan Adai had a day to forget as Erith and Belvedere were beaten 4-0 at home by Sittingbourne in the Isthmian League. Although, if you go to KentishFootball.com, they've got an interview with Erith's manager, and he's praising Dylan because apparently Dylan did make a few decent saves. Like, it sounds like Erith and Belvedere were kind of battered all over the place, and they could have been worse than 4-0. So, Nino Adam Malake was replaced at half-time with Sutton United's 1-0 loss at Morecambe. I think he played today. He started in their game today. I don't know the final result. The phone's not around. It's in the next room charging up. And Alex Mitchell was absent from the Lincoln City squad as they beat Fleetwood Town 2-1 at Sincil Bank. So there you go. And the upcoming fixtures, you got Bromley versus Chesterfield on Saturday. You got Sevenoaks Town versus Erith and Belvedere on Saturday. You've got Sutton versus Wrexham. Yeah, that was the game today. And Charlton versus Lincoln. I wonder if Alex Mitchell played in the night. That was tonight as well. So there you go, and are we going to move on? Yeah, now the rest of the video is about the game tomorrow, the Ipswich game. We're going to start off with where you can watch the game. Obviously, the game is on Sky. We'll get onto that in the next piece, but this is from millwallfc.co.uk, and they do this now. They tell you where you can and can't watch the game because obviously VPNs exist and foreign tourists exist, foreign Mill fans living in foreign lands exist, and they can pay to watch it. Although there was some talk that maybe next season or the season after, when a new TV deal's done, that they're going to stop this, and if you live in the UK, you'll be able to buy a match pass from Mill TV. So what will that do to crowds at the Den? but I'm sure it'll all offset itself, because if you think, what's a ticket to the Den? Like a walk-up ticket, what, 30 quid? So if you sell the match passes for 10 quid, you need 3 people buying a match pass at their houses to make up for 1 fan not being in the stand. So as long as the mathematics, I'm sure they don't care. As long as they still make money and they don't lose money, I'm sure they wouldn't care. But at the moment, it's just international fans. And this is where you cannot buy a match pass, because this game's on Sky and it's also on foreign television and it's on TV in these areas. So if you live in these areas, you cannot buy a Millwall TV match pass, or if you have a season ticket, you won't be able to watch it on this game. That's how it goes. It gets blacked out. That's, like I said, that's how it goes at the moment. Terres australes et antarctiques françaises. You what? What's that mean? I don't know. Nouvelle Caledonie? Nouvelle Caledonie. I remember when it was New Caledonia. Guyane Française. French Guyana. Not British Guyana. Or Dutch Guyana. Guyana Française. So yeah. More on this in a minute. Well, right now actually, because let's move on. And we'll show you where this is from livesoccer.tv.com. No, livesoccertv.com. It's the page for the game tomorrow. It's on Now TV. It's on Sky Go Extra, whatever that is. It's on Sky Go. The channels it's on Sky Sports Main Event. It's on Sky Sports Football. It's on Sky Ultra HD. That's the table. We're going to skip over that. If you are in any of these countries, have a look and see where you can watch the game. Zone Canada, Congo, Star Times, Czech Republic, Premier Sport, Denmark, I think in all the Scandinavian countries, Viaplay, Georgia, Setanta Sports. They live on in Georgia, Setanta Sports 1, Match 4 in Hungary, Star Times app in Guinea, BN Sports Connect in Jordan. It goes on and 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 on. Tajikistan, it's Setanta Sports 1. Zambia though, nothing is there for Zambia. Is that an error, or you just can't? If you're in Zambia, you're tough out of luck. It's not being shown there. I don't know. But this is all your options around the world. You can't watch it in certain areas on Millwall TV, as we saw on the previous page. So now let's get into the game. We are going. Oh, before we get into the game, we're going to look at the table. Why? Because these games took place today. Now Sheffield Wednesday lost. Obviously, they're in the relegation. There, we didn't want them to win because we didn't want them to join QPR in having a chance to jump out of the bottom 3. We want the teams in the bottom 3 to stay down there. Stay down there. Stay down there. Leave us alone. And we want the teams below us, basically the teams below us, to lose. Or we wanted a Birmingham Blackburn to be a draw. It wasn't. Birmingham won, so that did drop us 1 place. I'll show you that in a minute. And so basically a good night for Millwall, technically. Leeds smashed Swansea 4-0. Why is that important? Well, I'll show you in a minute, because the goal difference. They had a goal difference that was better than us. Now it's worse. So good job, Leeds. Thank you very much, Leeds. Thank you. Rotherham took the lead, but they lost 2-1 to Hull. I think Cardiff down there as well. I can't remember. But let's have a little look. Go down to the table and have a little look. Obviously, we have to go to the bottom of the table because that's where we are. Obviously, we were 18th. We are now 19th. Birmingham went above us with that win against Blackburn. But luckily, that means Blackburn aren't away and clear. We are still, if we win this game, God forbid, I don't know, or God willing, and inshallah, if we do beat Ipswich, we can jump up the table a little bit rather than just going nowhere and just closing a massive gap to the teams above us. Stoke, as was mentioned, Stoke QPR tomorrow as well. But yes, Yes, you can see Sheffield Wednesday losing. That was good because they're on 26 and not on 29, so that keeps them like 3 or 4 wins away from us. But yeah, it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good at all. If we lose tomorrow, it's not going to look good as well, especially if it's a heavy defeat. Because as you can see, like I said, Swansea lost heavily. They lost by 4 goals today. So they were on -8 goal difference stats, which was better than ours. And now on worse. And all the teams around us are on a worse goal difference. So if we lose and lose heavily, either today or the game at the weekend, or that happen, that's if we was it 3 goals. If we lose by 3 goals, I mean, we then our goal difference advantage is just wiped away, and we don't want that at all, do we? Do we, children? No. Yeah, it's not looking good. It's not looking good, but yes. Let's move on to this then. 11v11.com history of Millwall versus Ipswich. We did not play Ipswich at home until after the war, the Second World War, World War II Electric Boogaloo, in 1949, and that was a 0-0 draw. And as you can see, as you look down the list here, it's a lot of green. We do win this game a lot. The Millwall Ipswich game, we do win it a lot. But there are heavy defeats littered in. 5-0 in 1956, 6-1 that FA Cup game, the famous one. Yes. Was that the one where, was it Bobby Robson said, these animals need to be caged, or was they need a flamethrower put on them or something? Because we were quite upset by that. And you shouldn't come down to the Den and score 6 goals and beat us 6-1. We're not going to be happy with that. So just take it easy if you do try and beat us. But then you can see that there's a lot of green. Quite big gaps because we didn't play them that much. Because they were in a different league, a league above, and more recently, a league below. The last game was this one in 2018, a 3-0 win. That's not bad. But the 2 games before that, in 2015-2017, 4-3 defeat and a 3-1 defeat. So there is the capacity for lots of goals in this game, both sides. 2011, you got a 4-1. So yeah, and as you look down the list, in terms of clean sheets, there's not cheats, which is probably a shame because at the moment we need a clean sheet to win a game. Or could this be the fixture where we actually score 2 and end up winning 2-1? Maybe, I don't know, maybe, but we'll see. We'll see. I mean, it could be anything. It could literally be anything. So, moving on to this from WhoScored.com, it's a head-to-head record. So the last 6 games, more recently, it's 2 wins for us, 2 draws, 2 defeats. Even Stevens. 9 goals for us, 8 goals for them. We've kept 3 clean sheets, they've only kept 1. So yes. So the match facts on the top right. Millwall have seen over 2.5 goals in 7 of the last 8 matches against Ipswich in all competitions. So that's looking like a 2-1 or more. And Millwall have failed to win their last 5 matches in the Championship. Indeed. Yes, that is true. Form table at the moment, what we got? So obviously they're 4th. We are 19th. We are on 33 points, they're on 60. They are twice as good as us. They have got twice the amount of points as us. We are averaging a point per game, just over. They are averaging 2 points per game. So, yes, that's... As you can see on their form, by the coloured bit on the side of the chart, on the table, they have won 1 game in 6. We have won 1 game in 6. But we've lost 4 and they've only lost 1. They are draw specialists at the moment. Could this game be a draw? They got a 2-2 draw away at Leicester, at home to West Brom, away at Stoke, and at home to Queen's Park Rangers. So that's the table, but let's look at home and away. So our home form is dog shit, 4 wins, 4 draws, 7 defeats, only scoring 14 goals, which is less than 1 per game, but conceding 21. We've only lost once in our last 6 home games, actually. 3 draws. Now away, how's Ipswich away from? Oh, they are one of the best away teams in the league, the 4th best, in fact. Winning 7, drawing 5, only losing 3. But not scoring many goals, 18 goals scored, 17 against in 15 games. But as you can see, the most recent form is on the far right. They have not won in 4 away games. 2 draws is the best they done. So that's interesting. Form table, let's have a look at that. 14th, like I said, not doing too well, but 20th for Millwall. Draw specialist. Is it going to be a draw tomorrow? 4 draws for Ipswich in their last 6 games. Okay, so let's look at those games. So the last 6 home games for Millwall, last 6 away games for Ipswich, including cups. So not many clean sheets for Ipswich. Only the game at Stoke. So it looks like they score on their away games. So they have to score 2 to win or more, because they can't keep a clean sheet away from home. They failed to score in 2 of those games, a 0-0 draw at that Stoke game on New Year's Day, and at Leeds on the 23rd of December. Now Millwall on the other end have kept 2 clean sheets, and those were the games that they won, because as we know, so far this season, we've only won games that we've kept clean sheets in. And if we concede a goal, we either lose it or sometimes we draw it. I think, haven't all our draws been 1-1? Do we have a 2-2 draw yet? So yeah, will that change? Can we win it 2-1? Or will it be 1-1? Here are the characteristics, the strengths and the weaknesses, and the styles of play. So there you go. There's that. And then we're going to move on to the actual prediction. We've got the predictions now from whoscored.com. Obafemi. So what's he played? He hasn't scored yet. What's he played now? He's getting better and better and better, according to Joe Edwards, and according to what I saw against the Coventry game, that was a lot better than the previous game. So if he's going to progress further, he's got to score in this game, no? It's about time. What's he at? He's come off the bench, then he played the first half, and then he's played the first 63 minutes. So that's just over 90 minutes. What was that, like 110 minutes? So what's his scoring rate? Is it one goal every 2 games? Yeah, well, not that's Eric Ireland tour. Is it 1 goal in 3 games, 1 goal in 4 games? Like, how often is he gonna score? If it's 1 in 3, he either needs to score in this game or in the next game. So I think he's probably kind of due to score. No, he looked alright in the last game, but we'll see. So there you go. Now, prediction. Millwall were on course for an impressive away victory against playoff hopefuls Coventry on Sunday for a quick-fire late brace from Haji Wright flipped the scoreline. Joe Edwards' side had picked up just 1 point from the last 5 championship matches and sit just 4 points clear of the relegation zone. Ipswich had Amari Hutchinson to thank on Saturday afternoon, as his stoppage time goal proved enough to salvage a point at home against playoff contenders West Brom. The Tractor Boys are at risk of dropping out of contention in the promotion race after winning just 1 of their last 9 league games. So that sounds ominous. They were losing, and they they huffed and they puffed, and they ended up getting a late goal to draw that game. And WhoScored.com predicts Millwall 0, Ipswich 1. And as we know, that's not really what they do. That's not really what they do. They don't keep clean sheets on the road. Although we can't score. We're not very good at scoring. So it could be possible that they keep us shut out. I don't know. Now moving on to SkySports.com, and David Prutton, what does he predict in his predictions here? So obviously we are one of the Sky games. So where are we? Where are we? Oh yeah, for some reason, because obviously Sky had the Coventry game and Sky have got the Ipswich game, so they got 2 Mill games in a row. And I think this must have been before the game. They filmed like interviews with Tanganga and stuff. They've been pushing this out, which is unfortunate because obviously he played a bit shit in the Coventry game and gave away that penalty. So if this was like he filmed this interview, it's a puff piece because obviously he's looking for a new club in the summer, and that's not going to be Millwall. So obviously he's trying to play well and get his name out there, but the plan didn't follow the script because he gave that penalty away. So, but the Sky is still running the puff piece interview. So you saw some good signs from Millwall Coventry on Sunday, but once they conceded the equaliser, you just knew what was coming. They need to start getting points on the board because now it's just one from the last 5 games. Yeah, not one win, just one draw, 1 point. That was it. One draw in our last 5 games. The Ipswich are still within touching distance of Southampton, but just 1 win from 9 games means any more slips in their top 2 hopes will be all but over. I think this could be another dip, and he's predicting 1-1. Well, Southampton did lose today. They had a long unbeaten record, and it finally faded today as Bristol City beat them 3-1. So that might give Ipswich a bit of confidence about, if we win this game, we can catch Southampton. So that doesn't sound good for us. But they're predicting 1-1. So we've got 2 predictions. We've got a 1-0 loss and a 1-1 draw. So now it falls on me to make my own prediction, which is going to be hard because I have absolutely no idea what Millwall are going to turn up, which Millwall's going to play in which half. How are they going to line up? You just know. Like, although, like I said, you would think that it's time for Obafemi to score. He's got his fitness up. He's got his eye in, and it's time, my friend. It's time. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I don't know. I hope it's a win. And it could be with the short turnaround. See, the short turnaround at Christmas helped us out. Because they didn't have to do so much training. And so there you go. So in terms of prediction, I want to say 2-1. I want to say 2-1 to Millwall, not to. But to be honest, I can see it being 2-1 to. I hope it's 2-1 to Millwall. I can see it being 2-1 to Ipswich, and I can certainly see it being a 1-1 draw. I don't think they're going to keep a clean sheet. I don't think we are either. So the minimum then it's going to be is 1-1. Do I think we can get a second goal? Or do I think we're going to concede another 1 or 2 or 3 or 6? I'm going to go with a 2-1. I think Millwall are going to win this 2-1. And then everybody's going to go, hey, Joe Edwards is great. Joe Edwards is fantastic. Joe Edwards won a game. He's not as shit as everyone says, and he shouldn't be fired. He's won 1 game in 7. He's fantastic. Yeah, because as you mentioned, as you've heard in this video, I wasn't a big fan of Joe Edwards at the start when he was appointed, and from what I've seen, there's nothing to write home about. But a lot of people seem to be in favour of it for some reason. I think just the idea of it rather than the actual what we're seeing being produced. And obviously, there's excuses for that. All the players, it's not his players. Yeah, that's fine, but at the moment, it's not working. So we'll see. But I think, like I said, I think he's going to win. I think we're going to win. And then everyone's going to say Joe Edwards the king, all our Joe Edwards, and I'm going to look like a dope for saying that I don't like Joe Edwards as Millwall manager, but there you go. So yeah, 2-1 to Millwall. And on that note, thank you for watching and goodbye.